Hi guys, Alistair Taylor down at Lytham Golf Academy, and today we're going to talk about how to strike your irons pure every single time. Okay guys, so if you're new to the channel, please subscribe below, and if you're enjoying the video, please click on the thumbs up down below. So, biggest problem I see with most guys is that inability with their irons to strike the ball consistently in order to move the ball a consistent distance down the hole. As a result, they end up picking the wrong club for the yardage, the good strike goes too far, and the poor strike is still too short. So from what I see with a lot of guys is most golfers, in my opinion, are trying to make what they consider a full backswing, and they think that is as they swing back they need to get that club shaft parallel to the ground. Now we can see as I make that movement, the way a lot of golfers are doing it is they'll get back to a point where the width of their swing is pretty good, but then that lead arm bends, the hands get closer to the body, and the swing becomes much more narrow. Now, in order to strike that ball correctly, we need to find that perfect width again on the way down, or the body will move to compensate. As a result of that, I think I see a lot of guys kind of hitting halfway at the ball or hitting a few inches behind. So I'm going to hit 10 shots, doing what I think a lot of guys try and do to complete that backswing. I'm going to show you where what the strike is like on the face, and then I'll talk you through how I think you're going to improve your swing or change your swing to improve your ball striking. So off we go, 10 shots, full backswing. Right then guys, so not my normal swing, but more of what I see with guys, particularly that come and see me, or the odd guy that sends me videos to look at of their swing. So let's look at the contact that I was able to make. Didn't feel great, and what I would say in my defense is I'm probably able to compensate slightly better than a lot of guys out there in order to get the club on the ball. But let's look at the strikes and see with that full swing what that gave us. So we can see there was still some very, very good contacts near the middle of the club face, a few a little bit to the heel, a few a little bit to the toe, and there was one really, really out the toe that would have lost a huge amount of distance and accuracy as a result of that strike. Okay, so we saw there a very, very varied strike on the club face, and that's possibly something that you guys watching will have with your golf games. Like I said, probably I'm compensating a little bit better than some of you, and as a result I would still get some good strikes out of that swing. So a real key thing that I want you to think about though is when you look at the golf swing, particularly face on as we're doing here, the simplest form of that swing is that club head moving in a circle around our body. And for any circle to be nice and consistent, we need two key things. So we need the middle of the circle to stay relatively still. Technically that'll be just inside me. And we need the width of the circle to stay the same. So the key is, because your clubs change length, the width of the swing will change. But the length that doesn't change too much would be from that central point to our hands. So what I want guys to work on is, as we swing back, where is the furthest we get back where that width is maintained? You can still see when I do that, it's a big full shoulder turn, and I've still got lots and lots of width. So that's easy then to keep that width on the way down, collect the golf ball, and maintain that width on the way through. And therefore, if I'm nice and wide like that, it should be incredibly easy to make a much more solid strike with the ball and control the distance I'm hitting it. So I'm going to just do a couple of practice swings, feeling where I can get to. So probably for a lot of us, that's going to feel more like a a half swing or even a 3/4 length backswing. But I'm going to make a couple more. That feels good. Good. Right, so I'm going to hit 10 more balls with that. I'm not going to call it a restricted backswing, I'm going to call it a full backswing where I maintain my width, and then we're going to have a look at the strikes again and see if there's an improvement. Right then guys, so before I even look at those strikes, I can tell that was so much more consistent. They felt almost identical contact wise each time. There was one swing that I felt I got a little bit longer, not as long as before, felt a little bit longer and did feel that I compensated a bit more during the swing. But let's look at with that slightly shorter backswing, did that change my strike of club face on the golf ball? Right then guys, so if we look at the strike, there's absolutely no comparison. Much more of a tight grouping around the middle of the club face, you know, really where I'm looking to hit that every single time. And then as long as my speed and my club face control are pretty good, I'm going to hit the ball a very, very consistent distance and accuracy time after time. Right guys, so I think there, when we looked at the two strikes we saw beforehand where there was that real spread over the face, and then with that second batch of shots we saw a much tighter grouping of strikes. That's really going to make it a lot easier if you can deliver the club more consistently to give you that much more consistent shot. And like I said, what we're looking for is don't worry about getting the club as far back as possible. We're looking to try and get as far back as we can where we maintain the width of our swing, and then that we can maintain that width all the way through the golf swing. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. Really going to help you strike your irons pure every time if you can be much more like we've spoken about there. If you have enjoyed the video, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. Subscribe to my channel if you don't already. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here in the future. Stay in contact.